Hello, you beautiful people. I wanted to make a little one of those little videos where I just build up one thing. Because I hadn't done a kind of building up this certain structure. Now, I've been kind of tweaking this idea a bit, and I'm guessing you guys have been trying this a few times, which is basically using the vaults, the actual vault pieces to kind of build kind of mini bunkers in various elements of the wasteland. So something that's just kind of an outside vault area. Now, this is, right, Deeks, this is my kind of practice one. So the one we're going to build is going to be bigger than this, but also the fact that there are things about this one I want to change. But effectively, for starters, the one thing is the entrance is shit. I mean, it looks nice, but it just looks ridiculous because I use the atrium pierce. But the main reason why I needed to build this is because I needed to figure the best way of covering up the vault piece, and that was the important part. But we're going to build it over here. I'm overall pretty pleased with the technique, and it wasn't too hard to do. But you need to use the warehouse pieces because you need something that's a little bit taller. Basically, you need to be a little bit taller and a little bit wider than your actual atrium is going to be, because you want to surround it, and you want to use the personal preference, but you want to use the warehouse pieces as a kind of a blank canvas, because that way I can then decorate these with detail, but they cover up the holes pretty well. So we're going to make this one 4 by 4. What we need to do is need to be a bit crafty. So basically, it needs to be... Right, so it's that one's 2 by 2. So it's going to be that one, but just wider version of it. But that means you need to make it a little bit longer. Now, I find, for the sake of your sanity... Oh, but it actually doesn't matter. I guess you can use these ones, because... Take those off for a sec. The reason being, and for the sake of your sanity, is you're gonna... Because I like having a top level, using the railing pieces, and being an absolute moron that I am, I did them last, and I couldn't get them on. So while I was practicing building this one, I kind of may have spent a little bit too much time doing that. Right, so I've made it 2 by 2, and it should, if I'm correct, need to be this, and like that. So that should be, I thinks. I do thinks. I'm not entirely sure. That should be the right. So basically, it's the 2 by 2. So this is the, I get effectively for each of the atrium, after each of the vault pieces, and then you've got the extra bit of give at the sides just to kind of allow us to actually squeeze something in. But you don't want it too wide. Otherwise, it looks a little bit silly. I tried, for example, making it so I had a 2 by 2 piece, and then just put the vault on the inside. It just looks a little bit... There's a bit too much space between the vault walls. Even though you can't see them, you can kind of feel it when you're inside. And it feels a little bit simple. Let's just randomly put some random railings at the top. Just... This is more of a, less of a kind of a cut and dry, or just kind of exact build guide, and more just, I guess, a technique you can use for actually, because I really like this look of actually hiding the vault pieces indoors. Like, I'm sorry, outside, because it just looks cooler, and it kind of gives a bit more of a kind of a bunker vibe. Plus, individually, these buildings are just quite funky as well, which is pretty grand. They have a bit more of a, almost a scrappier raider look, which I know people do love. I do. It's a bit more scrappier, but let's quickly just do this stupid... Right, there we go. So that's the top floor. Now I'm going to pop you down there. We'll leave that there, it's fine. It's easy to put these walls on afterwards than it is to put them on before. Plus, we're going to be a little bit... Because it's 3, it's basically, it's an odd number, which is it's not actually going to snap in a normal human way anyway, so you have to kind of just be a bit more flexible and experimental. So it's 2 by 2. Craft these on. Boom. Like when I was doing this, I did actually just snap these on, but to be completely honest, you're probably just better off just falling into the pool, but also doing them afterwards like this. Using my wee pillar. I always get that when I'm like, thank you, not close enough. Okie dokie. Up. Jump on the car, because that's how we roll. Get stuck in said car. Still get stuck in said car. I'll do 2 of the sides, and I'll just stop recording so you guys don't have to see me painfully do all sides. Because that'd be boring. Yeah. I'm not too bothered about the sticky outy bits. Technical phrase. Just because it just adds a little bit more character. It makes it look a bit more scrappier, which is grand. Notice what I didn't do. Look at that. For those of you who don't know, I am quite renowned for using that pillar a lot and then scrapping it or storing it between each use during a video. And it makes me and everyone else watching the video back go a little bit mad. Right. The good thing is these are quite forgiving with, when you use the kind of hold pillar, select all glitch, normally you're going to find when I've mentioned this before, but when 2 player items touch, it sometimes goes red quite easily. With these warehouse pieces, they're reasonably forgiving. I wondered what that was the other day. It's a Brahmin. Yay. Brahmin. Exciting stuff. So it's pretty, yes, it's pretty forgiving. I thought I was just full of shit then, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty forgiving. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. You're a lying little shit, David. You know, fuck. Right, anyway. You see, it just kind of it's all grand. It's all good. Actually, you know what, fuck it. We'll just do them all, because it's only, like, literally one side to do them as the front. Right. You put the vault, if you're wondering already, you put the vault in after you've done your basic, just bunker bits. Hidey bunker bits. The vault I actually use for that one is actually the atrium pieces. And one, it was a pain in the ass to get a 2x2, because it always is. But also, it looks shit. That's right. That's my experiment. That's my Frankenstein's monster of bunkers. Oh, I seem to have missed. For fuck's sake. What am I like? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So, like, the thing is with me, it was like, I was trying to figure out a way, because I tried doing one of these in the slog, and I wasn't really pleased with how I went around covering it. It's like, you know, I kind of just placed the vault down and just kind of fucked around a little bit with just snapping bits on, and it just looked a little bit shit, to be utterly frank. I might have a little bit of a craftier time getting this in, but we should be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect again, it's just getting it vaguely in. Getting it so it's as close as I can feasibly get it, but to be honest, it's not too bad. Let's see, to be honest. Yeah, see, that's really quite close. There's a little bit of a gappage, but it's not too much of an issue. Right, now with my front piece. We're going to put the vault in after. We're going to put the vault in first. So basically, now we build our vault. You may notice, as I've mentioned before in my builds with this save, I'm not scrapping things I don't need to, and I kind of want this to have as many of the scrapped cars as I can. So, quickly, we're just going to use... Which vault structure piece should we use? Oh, those of you, sometimes mention this, because they're not on my tab. To get all of the rooms, you can get some of the vault, like, decoration pieces, but to get everything from the vault DLC, you do have to finish the quest first. Just an FYI. I could make it the overseer's room. Be a bit plush. Should make it a bit plush. Let's make it a bit plush. Bit plush. Maybe 2x2. Nice little one with another door like that. That's the one. Bob's your uncle. I'm gonna use the thingy door. We're gonna have a powered door basically, so it's actually a secure vault rather than, you know, just a vault that any prick can just open. Well, actually any prick can open, but they don't know how to because the AI is really bad, and don't they? They don't flip switches. Alright, off you go, loves. It's pretty straightforward. It was just, I guess, until you kind of get comfortable with the idea of actually covering up, you just basically just sink it in, saying it's good. It can be a little bit pear-shaped. Get it reasonably, so I like to sink it in a little bit. I initially used the atrium pieces just because it was a bit easier, but there we go, see. Oh, wait. Give me 2 seconds, people. I will fix that and be back with you in a second. Right, we're all good now. Just make sure it's kind of touching a little bit, because you do want the bottom of the vault pieces to actually sink into the ground a wee bit. As you can see, it's pretty grand right now, and this is actually quite a cozy little area. Now, what I'm going to do... so initially when I was doing that one, because I just kind of made it a single corridor, I made that kind of weird little door, which it does look a little bit weird. So what we're going to do is you can kind of be a bit more flexible, because now we've covered up effectively most of the actual vault. Ugh. Fine, we're going to put a ceiling in, it's grand. Because we've covered up the vault pieces, rather. We can now be a bit more just, I guess, flexible with how we build the door. But it's not going to be massively exciting. I'm just going to do something really quick. So let's firstly cover up that piece first. That little bit. No, that's fine. We will have that covered up, don't you worry. I was thinking I might have to actually redo that part again, but no, because we're going to have an actual doorway kind of leading to this anyway, so there'll be a kind of a roof part covering that part off. So let's just slap. Better off using the warehouse pieces, to be honest. In terms of detailing the outside of, because obviously, you know, you probably can't going to use the reverse walls, the reverse junk fences, but I'll quickly show you how to do one, just to remind people if anyone has, for example, hasn't, the first time on my channel and haven't seen how I do it, but then I'll do them all myself. But in terms of this inside bit, we'll just kind of like, you just really want to kind of hide the blue. That's kind of one of the main motivations why I used the atrium one, because the outside of the atrium pieces aren't blue, so they don't look as knobby as the the kind of, say, well, the rooms, for example. I mean, I guess you could use the corridors, but they still look a bit shit. But there we go. See, it's quite flexible with burying these in. So basically, I can literally just surround the doorway. I don't know, I might even actually be able to... Can I? I don't think I can. Nah, fuck it, we'll just... Right, let's pop you on. Do one side. You are probably... I mean, unless you are... For example, if you cover the outside completely in junk fences, you could pretty much cover up all the holes. But I kind of like the idea... Okay. I think it looks better if there's a little bit... Like, maybe your settlers, for example, have done the best they can with actually closing off the vault, but not... It just would look really shit, basically, if you covered up with so many junk fences. But I guess you could use wooden walls, or whatever you really want. I am on fire with not storing this fucking pillar. Don't get used to it, because I will forget. I think I've just had loads of coffee today, so I'm on point. Wrong direction, David. There we go. It's going to do its jumpy thing. There we go. Outstanding. Looks pretty grand, actually. So, I mean, in essence, if you wanted to, you could literally just leave it like that. I mean, obviously, you do the decor on the outside, but I'm going to do a quick doorway. So we've got this. You could literally leave it like that. Have your reverse junk fences. But I kind of want it a little bit hidden. So we're just going to do a quick, crafty little thing. It's technical phrase for something crap, basically. Let's... Can we use... Do you snap? Do you snap, love? Do you snap? Right, we need you... Oh, I know I can do. Yeah, I'll do it that way. I think the best way of doing it, but we'll do it this way. So what you want is you want it just one floor out like that. Take you off. We'll put some random railings on, and we'll just remove 2 of the railings on the side there. Put it just as thing. Put a sign up there or something saying "Do not enter," under pain of getting punched in the throat. Right. Okay. So next we want something. So we grab this here like that. That's awfully peculiar that they actually snap on. I'm not complaining even remotely. I didn't actually just expect that to work. Grand. Might have to add a little bit more details onto this. The good thing with the warehouse tab is you can just kind of glitch pieces together, and it doesn't really matter so much. It's pretty, you know, you're gathering already. It's pretty, you know, solid. It's not really. Get in there, you little shit. As close as we can. In a bit. Yeah. Pretty cool, actually. So we're basically going to we're going to cover up that hole now with exactly what we just did with that hole. So we'll just, oh no! Sorry. I was doing so well. God damn it. Anyway, we're nearly finished here, don't worry. I'll just quickly cover up that gap with that one and that one. And then I'll quickly show you, I'll squeeze the door around. To be honest, I mean, I could have a powered door, but I mean, you get the idea. I mean, I could just glitch in a powered door. This is just the idea of just kind of giving a doorway there, so it's not immediately recognizable as just, you know, a big high-tech door, but it's hidden, but it's not as hidden as it, you know, it's hidden as your settlers can, as best as they can do. And for the love of God, thank you. But it looks suitably shitty as well, which is kind of what it's kind of my whole thing, really. New tag for the channel, suitably shitty. Right, okay, so leave my little concrete pillar there. So I've done the decoration yet, and I'm not going to put power door. I'm actually going to leave it like that because I quite like this kind of just scrappy fuck you entrance, because it doesn't, you know, you're not opening one door, but it's hidden enough. So let me just quickly show you how I did the outside. I've demonstrated this technique before. Actually, 2 things first before we do that. Let's put a wee staircase at the side first. So just, the great thing is, I think they've just made it, possibly quite recently, just made it so things that just kind of just generally do pitch in a little bit more. They're a bit more generous with their placement, especially the scaffolding. Come on, love. Also, I keep walking up the lumps. In we go, you cheeky little monkey. It's me just edging backwards like a cool dude. Come on, there we go. There we go, just pop a wee thing up there. You can use whatever stairs you like. I'm weirdly getting attached to these little staircases. Do I know why? Not really. To be completely honest. I just like them. And they like me. They said so. Right, okay, let me just show you how I do the reversed walls again, just because I don't want to assume you already know how to do it. So you get a rug. Use this rug specifically because it only uses cloth and you don't want to use your precious rubber. Get your junk fence. I'm recommending not using ones with barbed wire versions, just because you're going to have a bit of a pain in the arse in terms of actually... just the barbed wire will clip if it's going to be using it to kind of like... as reinforcing a wall, it just looks a little bit silly. Grab that like that, and you hold select on the pillar, and it'll select just the rug, and then voila. And then we just kind of sink them in like that. I mean, you can, for example, like, do this, so I'm covering up a couple of the gaps. I just tend to space them out, so I'll show you, like, I'll do this one, don't worry, in a second, but, like, I've kind of spaced them out, so I've got, like, 2. So it's not, like, completely covering it, but it just patches up and breaks up the texture. Right, give me 2 minutes, or rather, it'll be instantaneous for you, and I'm just going to quickly cover up and make these walls look rather funky. 1 sec. So, we're done. Here is just the end result. I've just kind of added a little bit more detail, buried some bits in, Genuinely just made it a little bit more scrappy. The blue, were I fastidious, I would recommend maybe try to plug these holes up a bit. You could probably use the junk fence with the tires and just kind of rug glitch it in. Just there in the corners so you don't... Because that blue does stand out. It doesn't stand out too much because it's dark in there. Or it just might be something you might want to consider doing. As you can see, I just added a random little guard tower on the top. Just to kind of turn it into a bit of a castle area. We've probably gathered already this whole little settlement here. It's going to be a small one, so it's not going to be a massive build, but it's going to have, maybe it's going to go up to potentially here. I don't know if I'm going to wall it off or not, though. I just want it to kind of basically be luxury bunkers hidden behind a slightly raidery or wastelander aesthetic. Obviously, wiring these up, I would actually have to use actual wires, potentially even glitching them in, but we'll do that another time. Right, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns if you want to see what I'm up to. I'm going to try and go back a little bit more. I always forget to do this. I get carried away with doing like specific settlement builds, but I'm going to try and do settlement builds alongside just trying to build something individual, like these bunkers, like the church, things like that, just because it's quite fun to do, but I sometimes get carried away with building up just specific settlements. Right, anyway, I'll have another video soon-ish, and I'll talk to you lovely people soon. Take care.